Hi guys, Starcraft 2 co-op fans, I have something special for you today. It's a compilation of bugs, shenanigans, exploits in Starcraft 2 co-op. Some of these things I already shown through my YouTube career, and some of them I haven't. So if you are new to co-op, then you probably didn't know most of these things, if any. And even if you are a hardcore co-op veteran, I bet that there is few things that you still didn't know, so you can find this video valuable and educative. And please like and hit the like button and subscribe to support my channel. It took me a few days actually to make this video. It took me quite some time to prepare all of these things, so let's go. Rainer's medics are designed to heal units, but they can also heal some structures, like this Omega, and even you can see that this medic is just standing here, so it doesn't do it automatically, but you can give it order, and then it will heal. By the way, don't be confused by this, why I have 50,000 minerals and gas, because of course I'm doing this on Magura's map where I can use sorry, codes like fast build, money, share for sharing control, so I can prepare for these things faster what I want to show you. Otherwise some of these things would take a lot of time, so I'm just saving time here. Otherwise these things work in normal games too. Other than Omega Worm, medics can also heal uprooted crawlers, as you can see here. So this is what they can do. Arturus's medivacs, however, cannot do that. Swan can give Raynor tech reactors, so of course Swan has those tech reactors that can both research and double build all the units, while Raynor can have separately tech labs and reactors like in Versus. And in tech labs you can research stuff and single build all units, while a reactor can only build the first type of unit, so a Marine, Viking or a Vulture, and it can double build. So Swan has both of these things combined in one. Now you can see I'm building, Swan is building the tech reactor while Raynor is building his stuff. And now when it is done, Raynor can take over Swan's reactor, but Swan can also convert. You see, this is now tech reactor, and Swan can also convert Raynor's tech labs and reactor into tech reactors, as you can see. And now Raynor can use them back as tech reactors, so that's kind of thing where Swan can help Raynor, and now all the units can be double built, and also research can be done here. And it's only for Raynor, like Nova or other commanders cannot benefit from these things. Now we have something that actually makes transmutation mutator helpful in some circumstances, especially on this map. So how transmutation works, if you don't know, is that units, Ammon's units, when deal damage to our units, have some chance of transmuting into higher tier units, and the chance is calculated the damage unit deals divided with number 2. That's the chance in percentage. So for example, if unit deals this kaboomer, if it deals 6 damage, it has a 3% chance with each attack to transmute. So not too big of a chance, this same as these things. But for example, for Yamato, battlecruiser Yamato, that deals over 200 damage, that it is of course mandatory transmutation, because for every damage dealing attack that deals more than 200, then it's 100% chance, unless that Yamato is of course blocked by some kind of or absorbed by some kind of barrier. And there are 10 tiers of units. So first, lowest tier are tier 1 are Zerglings, Marines, and Banelings, and top tier, tier 10 are two biggest hybrids, Hybrid Dominator and Hybrid Behemoth. And when units deal damage, they can go one tier up, but if they kill, then they go up as many tiers as our unit, the unit killed is worth. So its unit is, so for example, if M1 unit on tier 3 kills our unit on tier, that is tier 4, then it will go up to tier 7. And if killed unit is heroic, then it will go, no matter what kills it, it will go to top tier, to tier 10, will transmute into the Dominator or Behemoth. But some units have not been placed into tiers, which means they are automatically counted as tier 0, well, technically tier 1. And such units are all special infested on this map, and also all in these infested. So special infested are Kaboomers, Hunterlings, Chokers and Spotters, and also the Thanx. So let's see what happens. So you can see this thing doesn't have a lot of chance of transmuting, so it attacks but never transmute. Okay, this one attacks, and now it transmuted into a Widow Mine, so much smaller unit. That, as I said, also applies to Thanx, so you can see this tank now coming, and when it starts dealing damage, it transmuted into a Zealot. So yeah, all these units will transmute into either a Zealot or Widow Mine, Hellbat, Roach, or Hydralisk, because those are tier 2 units. So tier 1 units transmute into tier 2 units. And it also applies to aberrations, and not just these aberrations that are part of this infested horde that spawns from enemy buildings on this map and dies during daytime, but normal aberrations too, and pretty much on the, not all, but most of the maps, if enemy is Zerg, aberrations are part of the base guards, and if you have the Banelings skirt, the explosive threat composition, then aberrations are also part of the attack wave, so these aberrations will transmute into smaller units, so this way transmutation actually helps. Hanan Horner's galleons are built differently than other units. They are built by SCVs on the ground like structures. So there was a bug that was allowing hybrid destroyers and phoenixes to use graviton beam on the galleon that is being in production, so they could lift unfinished galleons. And to fix this, a few months ago in that patch, and that bug was fixed by giving galleon a structural attribute, but it resulted in what you will see now. You can see that we have eminent domain here, and galleon is receiving damage, but when killing blow should be applied, it isn't applied, it just stops receiving damage, and although it constantly still drawing enemy fire, enemy aggro, it doesn't receive any damage. So this can be really good on some, for example, Temple of the Past, to actually hold on, stall enemies indefinitely. And this is because of the eminent domain, of course, how it works. Enemy structures, when they are destroyed, they are captured by Amon, but this have structure attribute, but also is a unit, so cannot be captured, so it's kind of bamboozled, and it cannot, it actually renders the assault galleon immortal, invulnerable, but you can still kill your own galleons. These two are now attacking this one, and boom, it dies. This is because, of course, how many domain works is if you kill your own structures, they won't be captured by Aemon. So this galleon was destroyed. Okay. Now I added two mutators, going nuclear and Black Death. You can see nuke lands and does nothing because it would normally kill. It would be a one-shot killing blow, and that's why, as I said, killing blow is not applied, so it stays on 500. And another nuke, boom, nothing happens. Okay. And now I'm going to attack these things over here. And you can see now it starts dropping HP, because if it's at full HP, then it will drop. And the same thing is if Galleon becomes invulnerable, and then is being healed up to the full health, it will start dropping again. But again, when killing blow would be applied, it doesn't get applied, and the invulnerability kicks in again. So that happens. And also, like, we have Black Death here. Okay, first have to, I think, yeah, kill this thing to infect this, but you can see even Black Death cannot kill this galleon. Propagators, however, have a different type of attack. They actually don't destroy, they convert enemies into their clones, so galleons can still be propagated. Normally, propagator destroys it and, I mean, converts it into its clone, so it doesn't help against propagators. But this is the other thing that I've added here. I added transmutation, because remember what I told about transmutation. So when not dealing damage to the galleon, transmutation chance should be 0. But let's see what happens. You can see that's a lot of stuff attacking, and there would be a lot of transmutation by now, like this, but we have some. We do have some. You see this just attacking relentlessly. Now half of these units will probably already be transmuted, but they are not. And see, they're just attacking. And finally, this one Thor became another hybrid nemesis, so one transmutation occurred. So there is a small, very small chance, but there is a chance of transmuting. So keep that in mind next time when we have these two combined, because soon we will have a mutation on minor evacuation with these two mutators, and the third one is, I forgot which, but the three mutators. But keep this in mind in deciding will you or will you not use this to actually stall the enemies, because it might be okay, but it might not. It's up to you to decide. I'll see myself, will I do it or not. So yeah, this keep that in mind. There is still a small chance of transmuting despite not receiving any damage. Another thing with Eminent Domain is that Kerrigan's Omega Worms cannot be captured by Aemon. So these are being attacked, and okay, and you can see now it becomes red, like it was captured, but even before it went down, but now it's gonna be destroyed. So it's kind of weird thing. This one destroyed immediately, but actually no worm will remain standing and can be captured by Aemon. Omega worms will be destroyed, so no gain for Aemon this time. So Aemon was denied Kerrigan's Omega Worms, but now Kerrigan will be denied money. So now there are some base guy, also attack wave approaching, and assimilation aura is activated, but we move on scene mutator, and Kerrigan is shifting. You can see blood sprinkling, so clearly enemies are dying, but as you can see that the assimilation aura is active, but no money is gained. So that's keep in mind that to have detection to reveal units you want to assimilate, otherwise you'll get no minerals, no gas from them. And yeah, that's especially impactful if you have remove and scene, but also like things like DTs, lurkers, swarm hosts won't be assimilated. So you need to have detection or use it together with immobilization wave, because immobilization wave reveals all the units, so they will be assimilated then. Time stop is a very useful tool for Vorazon, but it has some negative effects. Now there was a bug on this map not allowing you to actually collect values parts when time stop is active. That bug was fixed, but there are still some things, some issues with the time stop. One of them is hardened shields. We have hardened will mutator, so I'm activating time stop, and you see this hybrid hardened will enemy heroic units reduce all incoming damage to a maximum of 10 when any non-heroic enemy unit is near them. So this hybrid has non-heroic units near it, so as you can see, these represent these hardened shields. And now I'm killing all the units. Structures don't count, just units, and there are clearly no units in the vicinity. But as you can see now, 7 attacks, and just I even go around to see if any unit is close by, but no unit is, so I'm continuing to attack this hybrid. And you can see this here damage, like it receives 10 damage with each attack. Okay, now when when the Shadow Fury starts, you can see it receives damage a lot faster, because Shadow Fury is a lot faster attack. Still receives 10 damage, but it's a lot more attacks. So yeah, it's already its shields are down, but I assure you, if there was no hardened shields, I mean, they are visible, they are still here, that hybrid would be long gone. It would be dead, because that's like 4 Shadow Guards and 16 of these Dark Templars, and they would kill that hybrid like 2 shots maybe. So this hybrid is still alive thanks to these hardened shields, and now it's gone. You see how the hybrid now can move, no more hardened shields because time stop is gone. And now see how fast it will die just to normal attacks. So yeah, that's one thing. And also the thing is that the game cannot end while time stop is active. So if you completed all the mission objectives, and you have to wait. If you activate the time stop, you have to wait for time stop to be gone, to time out, so the game could end. Those are the negative. There might be some others that I yet didn't discover or can't remember now, but yeah, these two are so remember, when you're fighting stuff like heroes from the storm, and there was a mutation, and I think it was on Vermilion problem, that heroes came with the hardened will, so it means that will be again, because all these mutations now are rerolls, and also I also got it once on the Brutal +6, so don't use time stop if you're fighting like heroes from the storm with hardened shields, because they have even a lot more, some of them even a lot more health than this hybrid dominator. Kerrigan, for example, has 5,000, so you won't be able to kill them during time stops. I use other tools, like Warzone really has great tools against those, like black holes. Then, well, black holes is active, place in the stasis trap, and it will go up while black hole is. So enemies won't be able to kill it, and then when they get trapped, just make sure, of course, that you have researched the thing that you can attack units that are in stasis. When paired with Kerrigan, Abatur can also build Omega network. So Kerrigan has that algorithm. When she reaches level 8, her Nidus becomes Omega, much more powerful, gets detection, more HP, faster unloading speed. And of course, the just cooldown 60 seconds, and no need to pay for the worms, but Abatur that also has access to Nidus. By himself, he can never build Omega, but now paired with Kerrigan level 8 or above, his Nidus also gets converted into Omega. So Abatur has access to that, and even when paired with Malevolent Matriarch, now, Blizzard did remove the algorithm allowing Kerrigan to have the worms at all, so she cannot have neither Nidus or Omega. So it wasn't necessary for them to even touch that algorithm that converts it into Omega level 8, because if you don't have access to it at all, then it's not necessary. But they forgot that Abatur still has access to Nidus, so paired with Kerrigan level 8 or higher, Abatur can still make Omega networks. So you can see the worm here, 1000 HP detector. So yeah, that's a double benefit now, because you have super duper creep, and also you see how fast this Brutalisk is healing under creep. So yeah, super duper creep provided by Malevolent Matriarch, and also the access to Omega. Kerrigan cannot build it, but Abatur still can. Now we have some symbiote shenanigans. You can see I load my Brutalisk into the worm. Well, now Hell is Kerrigan, so I have Omega, otherwise you can build a normal worm. And you can see that symbiotes are still here, and they are still attacking. Sadly, okay, now they have some vision because some locusts spawned there. You can see symbiotes are here attacking, but now they stopped because they are still here, but they don't provide vision by themselves, so they need vision to attack. So if you have vision, if I had a toxic nest over here, they would still be attacking, and they cannot be attacked, so they would just attack this area until I pull Brutalisk out somewhere else. So this is kind of pretty cute thing. And if you load the Brutalisks into the Overlords, of course you have to have Ventral Sax upgrade for that, then symbiotes will follow, and you can see move Overlords around, and symbiotes still shoot and attack nearby stuff, so that's also kind of symbiote shenanigan. Now we have some kind of funky interaction between Architect of War Karax and tunneling, any Abatur. Toxic nests get the Unity barrier, but thing is, I'm pretty sure, actually, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that previously Unity barrier was applied when you first morph Toxic Nest, but in that patch, I mean, there was only one patch, nothing was done to the, it was just chrono fixed a little bit in some part, but nothing was done to Unity barrier, so I don't know, maybe I was wrong last time. But the thing is, now they don't have Unity barrier first time, but if they respawn, you can see on them that they have Unity barrier, and that means that You see, look at this early. I'm gonna slow this down. Look at this toxic nest. No, this one exploded. This one, yeah, didn't have a unity barrier. I can click on this. Okay. You see, Zerglings died, but unity barrier was triggered, preventing this toxic nest from actually exploding. And although damage was done, and now it can hit again. Of course, this time the unity barrier is disabled because it's disabled for 60 seconds after it's used. So now it did this one did the same thing. See, and but when unit respawns, can't I click on this toxic? Okay. Apparently this Belios part is preventing me from clicking. Okay, yeah. When if it responds again, then it counts as different units, so it will get unity barrier again. This can be useful, like if you fight immortals, they can toxicness can actually one-shot them. It kind of looks like one shot, but they actually two consecutive shots in like 2 consecutive frames, so it looks like one hit. That's kind of funky interaction. I already did one video about this thing. Stukov's bunkers are structures when rooted, but when they uproot, they actually become units. They become bunkerlisks. So you can see the visual edge of this thing. And now when I uproot it, it allows the brood queens to actually put an ocular symbiote to the on the bunker, and ocular symbiote is a spell that increases a friendly unit sight range by 5 and grants it the ability to detect, look, and burrow units for 180 seconds, so it lasts for 3 whole minutes and costs only 25 energy. Really good spell. And now this is see the expanded vision range, and now when it roots back, it remains on it. It cannot be placed now when it's rooted because it's structured, but it remains when bunker roots. And now you can see that it's enhanced vision range, and also is detector. And the queen can also inoculate itself, as you'll see now. You see that queen spawned ocular symbiote on its placed ocular symbiote on itself, so you don't even need 2 queens for this. Single queen can inoculate itself, and now you can use this queen as a detector. So that's why I like to use queens instead of overseers. Okay, you need some more time to get queens because they cost gas, and you need a starport, but they are faster than overlords, and they also have some other spells, so they are good and come to combine with both Frightful Flesh Welder if you go mech, or with Lord of the Horde to have them around. When in a mobile mode, bunkers can also be recalled. So my ally is now Warazun. As you can see, it was recalled to this pylon. And if a bunker dies in a cloaking field, if it's cloaked, then it will be death recalled. So emergency recall is also a thing. You can see this bunker was recalled to my infested command center. Stukov has a specific way of interacting with chrono things. With now Karax is ally. Okay, I was playing both commanders, but yeah, Karax plus Stukov, Architect of War. I mean, any prestige has chrono. And previously, everything was bugged about Stukov, all production structures, so that was fixed. So now barracks, factories and starports do benefit from chrono effects, producing more units. Bunkers do not, but they were not meant to in the first place, so you cannot get any more units, any additional units from your bunkers. But the compound is affected, but in a strange way. It's kind of still bugged. Okay, so chrono wave is in effect, chrono field is in effect from the start. Now I also added a chrono boost, and you can see that these infested civilians, they have that cooldown. They can spawn every 60 seconds, and the cooldown is shown both on command card and over here. Now for initial, look at this, there's a white bar going. Initially first is 180 seconds cooldown. Okay, let me speed this up. But they will spawn earlier, so there is no matter for the initial. Look at this white bar. This here is not going faster, but this one is. You can see that they are usually perfectly aligned, and now they spawn at 2 minutes and a few seconds. Usually it should be 3 minutes. Okay, so it does help, but later, okay, let's see now. Hold on, it's going, but now the other bar appears. This one has 30 seconds, and you can see cooldown is done, but it grays out. And whenever this bar is going, it cannot spawn. So how does this work? When the eggs, look at this, now it's done. Now it will be done, and the eggs spawn. And for the first half minute of the cooldown, first 30 seconds, the eggs themselves are indicator because they take 30 seconds to hatch. And when they do hatch, now they're hatching. You will see now this white bar appears, but the cooldown is already done. But it grayed out, and it cannot spawn, and now these things are disaligned. Similar to like with swarm hosts, when they get buffed by Abat or Psionic Devour, so they get their locust spawn cooldown halved. So also there are also things it's shown here and here on the stats bar. So they don't spawn automatically, but it doesn't gray out, so you can still spawn them manually. But here this isn't a case, because this cannot spawn manually and it's grayed out, so you cannot spawn them, and they don't spawn automatically while this white bar is going. So in order to properly use chrono wave, because chrono wave will speed up 5 times, so 500%, so that's you should use it in the right moment, and that is when the eggs spawn, because then you have 30 seconds in which they can spawn additionally. Okay, now this is not ready, but when it will be, I'll show you. Okay, so okay, that wave is dealt with. Okay, now I have chrono ready, and they've hatched, and I'm activating chrono. And now chrono lasts for 20 seconds, so it's and 30 seconds before between when they hatch and when white bar appears. So you can use chrono. It's his entirety, so the second spawn, third spawn, and even fourth spawn. So you can get 3 additional spawns. And when this is not upgraded now, I have none of the upgrades for the compounds yet, but when it's fully upgraded, like this is 64, each spawn is 64 units, so it's like 3 additional spawn, 100 and like almost 200 additional infested during single chrono. So if you are Stukov, tell ally to chrono when the eggs hatch. And if you are Karax and you have ally that doesn't know these things, I mean, you can monitor, you can see when the eggs hatched, and then use chrono. Okay, See now, doesn't spawn anything while the bar is active. Okay, so this is how this is an anomaly with Stukov. Another thing with the Chrono, you said that Ally popped these two worms almost simultaneously, and it's how the Chrono works for Kerrigan. So you see that I for the Omega network. So you see I boosted this one. This one is not boosted, and I can see it running here. But if I switch to Ally's view, okay, it's a little bit. But okay, you see there is no Chrono visible. Okay, switch back to my view, and you see that it is. Okay, when it's. See this. And the cooldown. Okay, let's see now the allies. The cooldown is the same, so it doesn't work. But when I use Chrono Wave, you can see that on Ally's view, it is shown that both Ally and my view is, okay, now it's Ally's. You can see the Chrono going faster, so Chrono Wave actually does work. This is kind of weird thing with Omega network, where there are no anomalies are the Tychus's Medivac platforms. So for them, I don't want to show you now. Let's make this video too long. This is it works normally both Chrono Field and Chrono Boost and Chrono Wave, so you can have more teleports with your outlaws. Is if your ally is Karax. Okay, this is pretty much common knowledge, but if you still didn't know it, the P1 Phoenix Arbiter is bugged. P1 is a Kundelar. It says that all armor suits damage increased by 100%, ability cooldowns reduced by 50%, life shields and energy regeneration increased by 100% valid storage, and disadvantages: all armor suit cooldowns increased by 700%, and each suit can only be sustained for 20 seconds at a time. But the Arbiter is bugged, so it of course still lasts for just 20 seconds, and then it despawns. But then I believe I used it here. Yeah, then it can be used immediately afterwards. Of course, that gives you a lot of mobility. Of course, it costs energy. So once energy is spent, yeah, you'll have to wait, leave it in the storage for some time to recharge. But yeah, it costs 100 and it has 500, so you can use it 5 times in a quick succession if needed. The Haka's primal contender prestige can be bamboozled by Omega and Nidus worms. So it's prestige that gives you stronger pack leaders, but the disadvantage is that the Haka exits the map while pack leader is active, and only one pack leader may be active at a time. So normally the Haka burrows into the ground. And by the way, when you play Primal Contender, if you don't have a Kerrigan LIL or Abatur that uses Niduses, if you are not bamboozling the prestige, be careful where you leave the Haka when you're popping the pack leader, because you want the Haka to stick around, because it's completely invulnerable while inactive, and he still provides detection once you get detection. Of course, now I don't yet have it, but still provides detection in that area where it's in the ground. So yeah, you can exploit that. But now I'll show you this. So the Haka enters the worm, and by entering the worm, the Haka is probably technically not on the map. So now I pop out the previously actually thought that you also have to, if you want another pack leader, you see now I have both the Haka and the Morvar here, I have to actually hide the pack leader and the Haka to pop another one. Now I'll pop Glevig. But Glevig cannot be hidden, and you can see that I can still summon the Kron, so I actually realized that now. So yeah, now I have two pack leaders and the Haka, and yeah, and now I got up the Kron, so I have all three pack leaders plus the Haka out with Primal Contender. So this is how you bamboozle it. It doesn't work. I tried it with Nova airlift, so the Haka being airlifted and then pump the worm, but it doesn't work. It just works with Niduses, so keep that in mind. The Haka Devouring One can actually heal friendly mission objectives that are units, of course, structures and can't be healed, and it works in percentage of units health. So Orana having 8,000 benefits the most of it. So now Orana is taking some damage over here, and well, I'm letting it take some damage, and soon I'll be going over here. So now enemy is Zerg, so everything is bio. Eating bio units gives you more, like normally it's 5% and it master is 6.5. By eating units, with bio units it's 25% of units health healed, and with mastery it's 32.5, so it's pretty much. Okay, so now Orana has armor 3. So let's see what happens. Yeah, I let her receive some more damage. Now I'm getting here, and I'm eating this aberration over here, and you can see Orana getting up in health, and also getting +3 armor. And as aberration is massive unit, now it also has the Thorns aura. You see massive effect. You have extra armor and Thorns aura. And okay, this also aberration is armored, so this unit is dealing damage versus armored enemies. It also shows this thing, but of course Orana deals no damage, so this doesn't apply. Okay, when she can move, like she moves from terminal to terminal, but if I eat light unit, it won't move faster. And of course other buffs don't apply to her because she is not damage dealer, like faster attack speed and this thing extra against armored and extra range, of course, but it heals her and it gives her extra armor and Thorns aura. And you can see now, okay, I'm moving the Haka away, there are still some damage dealers. Look at this Muta. So you can see that it deals damage back to Muta, but interestingly Thorns are always shown as they going from the Haka. You see these Thorns going to Mutalis, and even if the Haka dies and buff is active, the Thorns will actually come out of the Haka's den, so it's kind of funky thing. And yeah, this is how you can heal Orana. Okay, see now I will eat something else, and you see 2000 HP restored, so this is really good. 2000 without mastery. I was saying Devour buff duration mastery, but with Devour healing mastery it heals even more. The Haka, when he dies, it takes 90 seconds for him normally to revive, but you can speed it up with feeding him drones. When the Haka is on level 1, it takes 3 drones to revive immediate. Actually, 4 drones for immediate revival, or 3 drones plus a few seconds of waiting. But as the Haka grows, the drone count needing for revival grows, and when the Haka is fully grown at level 15, it takes 8 drones to revive the Haka immediately. But if you are a Brood Brother, you can exploit this by leaving the Haka at home, because the drone count is always counted by the Haka's level. So if you have just 2 Haka on the dealing damage out and doing job on the maps, now the 2 Haka is fully grown, and now I will let him die. Okay, so yeah, 2 Haka will now die, and of course now both of them die, and you will see now I'm going to revive them. And you see 1 drone, 2, 3, and yeah, 4 drones, and they are back. So you can exploit this by saving on drones in case of the Haka dies. So you practically play as P0 just to use 2 Haka and leave the Haka at home. It can be a little bit difficult if you are F2ing, like if you're going Mutalisks and Guardians, or these things that are good to keep close to the Haka. But then you might ask ally to build a cage for the Haka or something. But if you are going for like swarm hosts, then swarm hosts, like playstyle for swarm hosts is the best to keep them in separate control groups, so never F2, just like for example keep 2 Haka at hotkey 1 and the swarm host hotkey 2. So the Haka stays at home and never grows, and therefore if let's say Haka dies, you can revive them but with a lower drone count. Some other things about the Haka. So the Haka's pack leader are map bosses. Now map boss attribute was actually designed for some mission objectives, friendly mission objectives units, like Balius, like harvesting bots on missed opportunities like animal warfare, so they couldn't get like propagated. Like this would be really bad if they could get propagated. Like you lose 8000 HP Orana, and with that you lose the mission with a single propagator, especially there when propagators cannot be stopped, and where they can spawn from every circle that suppression towers can spawn from. So yeah, that's why. And also as map bosses, pack leaders are also map bosses. I don't know why actually the Haka's pack leaders were made by map bosses, but it's good that they are, because as such, as you can see, we now have Afraid of the Dark Mutator, and they retain normal vision, while other stuff, like you see, the Haka has no vision. Actually, structures have only small vision, except the hives and I mean primarily structures that have a little bit more, but pack leaders retain normal vision. They can also not get propagated. They cannot be directly targeted by boom bots, although they can still receive damage if it explodes nearby. Their escort can still be targeted and propagated, like these dudes, and also Glavik's escort. They cannot be pulled by fatal attraction. They can be silenced by moment of silence mutator, and yeah, those 5 mutators they are immune to, so that's really good. Short-sighted mutator will reduce their vision, so yeah, keep that in mind. And also the one thing unrelated to the Haka, unrelated to this, is you see this vision range, and you see this fog of war. Like if you have Afraid of the Dark Mutator, and also I think works with the Darkness Mutator, yeah, you set your shaders you set your shader settings below high. So if you have medium or low shader settings, then when you lose the vision of some area, it won't get back to complete darkness like this, but it will remain in the fog of war. So this is pretty useful when you have imitators like afraid of the dark or darkness. Horner's Vikings can land while clumped up, so I have 16 Vikings here. I actually use the copy paste command here on Magora's map because in the normal game you can hardly even get to this number of Vikings because of the cooldown, but yeah, I have 16 of them here, and I built these cage of supply depots, and you'll see now. Okay, all of them landed in this small space, so this can only work with Horner's Vikings because they have that fast landing. You cannot do this with Raynor's Vikings though, and I think it doesn't work with Sky Furies too. I actually don't know, didn't test this, but maybe Sky Furies can, I think, also has the upgrade. It can land faster, but maybe it works, but for Raynor it doesn't. So you can see now the enemies will start coming, and you can see that they can still shoot while clumped up like this. This Kaboomer didn't live longer. Maybe you can use this like on the minor evac if you have like several Vikings, and just get them in a cage for a little bit of protection against melee attacks, and also to stay clamped out, not to wander off like too far forward or so, but it's actually more of a meme stuff, not too much of a use. Artanis is Unbound Fanatic, Archie commanded Unbound Fanatic, can use their passive out of the Nidus and Omega Worms. So I spawn them, I load them in, and you can see they are still shooting and dealing damage to these units from the inside. And even when the worm is destroyed, they continue to do so. But they do time out. It doesn't prevent them from timing out. So yeah, it lasts for they last. This has no real practical uses. I mean, I'm sorry I didn't know this before the bug was fixed. Bugs that was causing them to kill themselves really fast with the double-edged mutator active, but now this is fixed. So not if you think that if you fight some wave and yeah, they would die too fast, then I mean, they don't last for long, so you shouldn't happen. But if you think that it will happen, so you might use this if you're a Kerrigan. Otherwise, it's just have no practical uses, because it's better to have them in the open, because then they also deal damage with their own auto attack too, so that's more damage. One funky thing about the Blightbringer on minor evacuation. Now, okay, where is it now? It will, I think, appear. Yeah, earlier because I went here. So you can see Blightbringer. Okay, I cannot yet. Now I can see. Okay, has 5500 HP. But when it burrows, it has only 1500, and you can't normally even observe this, but look at this. I'm Lone Wolf, and I have only 2 outlaws. I have Tychus and Crooked Sam, and I have this increased this gear, but increases the damage of demolition charge by 100%. So normally it does demolition charge is 500 damage, and with upgrade it does 1000, but with Lone Wolf, like with each out you have 30% increased damage, so that would be Tigers plus Crooked Sam, those are 2, so it's 60%. So with the upgrade it should do 1600 damage. So it shouldn't be nearly enough to kill, to one-shot the Blightbringer. Okay, I once Crooked Sam actually attacked it, so it has a little bit less 5355, but still almost at full health. And now I'm applying the charge. Okay, I didn't actually research this stun because I kind of don't know if Blightbringer can actually be stunned. I think he can't, because I want him to actually burrow. So now he will burrow, and usually you can't attack it while he is burrowed, but the charge still stays on him. And look at this, boom, dead. So that's how you one-shot Blightbringer with Crooked Sam if you're a Lone Wolf. Okay, this is pretty common knowledge also, but I see many people still don't know about this. So Zeratul can trap artifact fragments on some maps. So how it works is on each map artifact fragment has origin point, and when you activate it, it escapes somewhere, and then you have to look where it is. On this map, for example, I use the markers here, like it's here, it's right over here. So you see these two darker squares and these two white, so they use this like as a landmark to pinpoint. Okay, let me get actually codes. Yeah, so it's actually cancel this because now I won't build faster. Okay, so I save time. So you wanna build cage and make sure that it's 1 square thick. It's not like this, it's not good. It has to be, you see that it's 1 square, otherwise it can escape. So you build a cage like this, and you can check with probe. If probe can get in, that means cage is fine. Okay, now you can get, for example, this thing over here, so Zeratul can then get where he needs to be once he is available. I'm gonna get some defenses over here. Okay, let me pause now. Okay, Zeratul is out now, and the first fragment gets activated at very start of the game, so you cannot trap it. You see that it's not in the cage, it's over here. So I have to go there to grab the thing. But for the second fragment, see, you can see that it shows that it is here, so you can just, wherever you are, you can just fly here, and then blink in to collect, and then get into the void array, and then you can unload. And that's how you do it, especially if you're knowledge seeker, so you don't have to search across the map for the artifact fragment. Now I won't now show you on each and every map where is the origin point and on which map it can be trapped. You can just Google Zeratul artifact trapping, and you will find the post on Reddit. And you can also check the Tutu's video. He made a video, Tutu's channel. He made a video showing how to use the landmarks to exactly pinpoint the artifact or origin position on, and because on some maps it's kind of hard to pinpoint its exact location. So when I was doing this, playing this to make a video to show you how the Haka can heal Orana and give her buffs, I actually continued playing later, and I'm glad I did because I encountered something I never saw before. See, this tower just spawned, and actually, look at this. Horana actually finished the job while tower was still active. I don't know why this happened. She was paused. I thought she was kind of bamboozled by the Haka healing her, but she was paused while tower was attacking, and she pauses not when tower spawns, but actually when it starts attacking her. So it's this one actually I probably got it busy, kept it busy fighting to fight my units, so it started like attacking her too late, and the first one also, the second one not, but first and the third one. So she's now finished, and she will retreat, and I can still heal her. Rona can still be healed while inside, but now tower started hitting her, and you see that she now receives damage while being inside, but healing on her own because she can heal 5000 HP. She is retreated into the terminal. Yeah, I had a little bit trouble with this Baneling Scourge composition. It's pretty annoying. Locusts are pretty annoying. Okay, but I will manage to deal with these guys. And while Orana is still being battered, but now she is healing. Now when she gets out, she will still be she will move on, but she will move slowly because she is under attack. She moves slower always when she's under attack. And see now the Haka still eats stuff around and heals her while she's being battered by this tower. So now she will slowly be going. I don't know if this could actually be of some use, but now tower will start rapid firing her and dealing more damage. So yeah, it's dangerous, but maybe with some mutations you can use this to actually slow her down if you don't want her to arrive somewhere where you didn't clear too fast. But I don't know actually the pattern for this. Maybe this was just a kind of an accident. But what I did know is that Orana can actually proceed if you disable the suppression tower, so you can do it with mecha infestors. They're the constructive roach knights. So it disables for what time? I kind of forgot, over 10 seconds. Yeah, 500 damage, but of course it won't kill the tower because it has a lot more HP. 5000. So yeah, now it's disabled, and because it's disabled, it doesn't do damage, and Orana resumes the work. And now I keep disabling it, you can see, and she just is doing her job, and yeah, keep disabling the thing, and eventually she will finish. Okay, no, didn't disable in time, never mind. And oh, they have a, well, they have a, they had, okay, let me speed this up. These zealots kinda fucked me up because they had an observer, so now I need to make new infestors so I can keep disabling. And okay, now she can continue, and finally the work is done. Now she will heal and proceed. Tower is still active, and tower is still hitting her, so now she wants to go, and she is going, but she is being battered. But now this is dangerous because it dealt very high amount of damage in a short time because it is in rapid fire. So she's now down to 2200 HP. But yeah, it is she proceeded while tower was still active. with Vorazun ally, Zeratul can actually survive in lava. So I have low graphic settings, so lava kinda looks strange over here. But yeah, on Vermilion problem, this is lava time, and you see that okay, my virtual ally is Keeper of Shadows Vorazun. I mean, works in Vorazun, and you can see Zeratul's HP dropping just a little bit, but then it tickles back up. So this is because other Protoss unit can do this, because first of all, Zeratul always recharges shields, not just out of the combat, and he also has a lot faster shield regeneration than other units. So when Vorazun multiplies that with Veil of Shadows, then he regenerates faster, and he still kinda little bit drops, but the thing is one with the shadows thing, that Zeratul becomes immune to damage for half a second after being attacked every 5 seconds. So during these this half a second is actually gets up, because he is immune to damage, and that's why Zeratul will never drop, will never die in lava. See, going down, 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 then going up again, and down, 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 and little bit, and then going up again. So Zeratul is almost at full shields when lava is done. And another unit that can survive in lava are Statman's Mecha Banelings. But they need to have their upgrades in energy, impact barrier, and enhanced explosives, and then they will survive. So lava is now coming, and so they observe their energy. Okay, so you saw that they dropped 10 HP, and they dropped all the energy, but they did survive, and now you can charge them back again. Mecha Infestors can be buffed by Vorazun. Now, I recommend you to use Mecha Infestors burrowed all the time when the new ones spawn. That's how I do it. I rally them to existing ones, and when they arrive, I just add them to a control group and burrow them, so I get them burrowed all the time, because they can use all their abilities while burrowed, and then they cannot be attacked without detection, and enemies cannot see them without detection. And the only thing is that they move slower, but that's actually good, because if you accidentally move command them into the enemies, then you have more time to realize what you did and pull them back before enemies can attack them. And if enemies don't have detection there, they won't be able to attack them, even if the infestors are among them. So and also, like, when you have a lot of them, it can create traffic jams. When you have them burrowed, allies and your own other units can walk over them, so that's the whole benefits. But if your ally is Vorazun, then definitely you want to have them burrowed, because the strike from the shadows, that recall is also good. I mean, emergency recall, if they die, if they're burrowed, they will be recalled back to your mecha hive. But strike from the shadows is just too good to be missed, because it's 50% increased energy regeneration for cloaked and burrowed units. They have to be in the purple stat zone, of course, because otherwise they don't regenerate on their own. 50% of 0 is still 0, but you will see now that I discharge them at the same time. You can see that this one is regenerating a lot faster than this unburrowed one, and you will see now when this one gets to full. This one is still at like 320, 330, so yeah, a lot faster regeneration for burrowed mecha infestors. So keep that in mind, keep those things burrowed all the time, especially if your ally is Vorazun. One other benefit of the Haka's pack leaders, but also Odin, they cannot be trapped in a cocoon by the elemental. You see that this elemental is trying, but these things are getting trapped, but Odin is not. And same thing with pack leaders. Like you see, the escort is being trapped, but Murvar cannot be trapped by element. I don't know. I think this is not about the map boss, because Odin, he shouldn't be map boss. He can still be propagated, for example, and it's not about being frenzied either, because like Brutalists can be trapped. So I don't know what causes this, but the fact is that Odin and pack leaders cannot be trapped by slain elementals. On minor evacuation, you can actually cancel the panicked launch of the evacuation ships and delay it indefinitely or for a long time. I'm not sure, because I think once when I did it, panic launch actually occurred after a very long time, but it definitely won't be anytime soon if you abduct it. How do you do it? You cannot abduct ship when it's give command to abduct ship if it's in your vision range, and if it's in darkness, of course you can see it, so it has to be in fog of war, like this ship. And you give command to yoink, and then Viper will, although of course it has to get in the vision range to do the action, but giving command, when you give command to abduct, Viper actually the ship actually has to be out of your vision range. So if it's in the vision range of any, or like toxicness, you have stuff here, or ally, so it's in vision range, you cannot give command to abduct. So it has to be like this. Now I cannot give command to abduct this ship, because it's in the vision range of Viper, where I have to first move out of the, so ship is out of the vision range, and then I can give command. And so that way you can either yoink all the ships in the base, and then you and ally can defend all of them here, or even better, you can actually abduct them in unpathable terrain. As you can see now, I am abducting it to I will place them all up there, and then I will just start them. You can then start them. You still have to bring a drone or something, some ground unit at the starting point, and then you start them, and therefore they won't be able to when they are on unpathable terrain. Okay, let me pause this. Okay, so I have all 5 ships over here now. So ground units now won't be able to get them. I just have to defend against the Banshees and a hybrid Nemesis, and attack waves if they have a. So during the course of the mission, you will still have to defend the attack waves that come to your base, and harass waves that come to ships. But if they are full ground like this, then they can't unload here, so they won't be able to reach it. But after some times, because the mission is set to for a limited time usually, normally, so after some time attack waves actually will stop. After, I don't know, 8 or 9 waves, they won't be coming to your base anymore, because this is now like almost an hour of a game, and now I am starting simultaneously. I brought the drones to all the starting points, and now I will start all the ships almost simultaneously, and you can see now it is starting. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it is 5, just one is below the others. So so see, they are now coming. These aberrations can't do anything. Okay, let me speed this up a bit. See now, Overseer, now just these benches, and they will get a few shots. It's hard to prevent them to getting a shot or two on the ships, but I mean they have 1500 HP, so if you kill them fast enough, they not nearly will be able to destroy the ships. And now these overlords are going here to actually unload, but they cannot unload here, so you see now they are spawning from all these positions where the ships were and all coming over here. And it's almost done. Okay, let me slow this down. Now the thing is, ships will launch. So, okay, there is you need detection. Don't forget the overseers. I just said vipers, abducts also help because then they can stun these banshees. Okay, the thing is, first ship is going. Another one is going, the third one is going, but actually when I was launching it, so tight schedule, then it actually bugged out and I couldn't win the game because these two timer is done, but these two didn't launch. So I was thinking, oh, what now? But I did find the solution. And the solution is the sixth ship, because you have six ships on the map. You are allowed to fail one. You need to launch 5. So now I'm yoinking this lower one over here, and I will now start that ship. And they will, of course, come to attack over here. First, I wasn't sure if they will be coming, but they did. They did come. And where is the... okay. Okay, let's...
Our forces met the enemy in combat.
it will soon be done. And now you can see that actually when I started this one... okay, now... no, actually, these two also launched, or they didn't even get up, but it kind of unbugged itself, and it counted as a win. So if that happens, you have the one reserve ship to launch to unbug the thing. You can also use vipers to kind of clamp up. Your allies or enemy units. Okay, now I gave this Viper command for 10,000 energy, so you can do it all with this Viper. You can see he built a cage, and now he's abducting these things. Okay, more tanks. Okay. Okay, now a little bit trouble here. But you can see there is a lot of tanks over here, and now he sieges them up. And okay, this one that were not siege, they spread, and these guys like 13 so tanks become are clamped up, and they are still operational. Now the Thors in Overwatch mode. And the interesting thing with Thors is that, yeah, look at this, they just can just stack them like this. An interesting thing is you can abduct them out of the range, but because they have, I think, maximum range of 21, normally they don't. If they abduct them like over here, they won't shoot, but if you abduct them like to here somewhere, I think I will do this just now. Let me speed this up. You see they will still shoot in the enemy units in this circle. Look at this. Okay, let me slow down. Look at this, from which range they actually shoot. This is kind of funky thing, like, but it only works to a certain range. I think it's 21. Like if would duck them like here, they wouldn't shoot here anymore. Sorry. You can also stack a burrowed unit. That's actually especially good if you like your own swarm host. If they take too much room, you can just stack them up and build a cage, but the cage is not even necessary. You can see that they stay burrowed, and now just look at this. There's a lot of lurkers in very small space, and they will still be able to shoot. Okay, and also you might like abduct enemy units, stack them like this, abduct them into the toxic nest of autocast, just destroy a lot of units, a lot of enemy units if you are skillful with a small number of toxic nests. You can kill both bonuses on Rift to Korhal with a single Dakron. Now the second bonus will appear earlier if you clear the third set of shards. So when you do that, it will appear a few seconds after that. So as you see, I have now comfortable situation. The second one is already out, while third one is almost 4 minutes remaining. No danger that it will despawn anytime soon. And with the hack, of course, you can, if you play properly, even solo, you can like do the things pretty fast, because the Haka is very powerful. So I'm getting the Haka here for vision, and I'm popping out the Kron, and I'm moving the Haka away, so you shouldn't have any other units around the Kron. So the pirate ship doesn't waste its missiles on them. All missiles should be hitting the Kron, because the Kron has the greater spiked hide, which means every time the Kron takes damage, he shoots a spine back at the attacker that deals 20 damage. That means that these missiles actually, the Kron deals way more damage back than it receives, as you will see now. So you just need to get the Kron into this corner to get ready for the second ship, because you see this is going pretty fast, this one. The Kron, even without, you see that I have +2 attack, but even without an armor, the Kron has base armor 5, so these missiles barely do any damage to it. You see now didn't even receive 100 damage, and this ship is already almost at half health. So that's why this ship will destroy itself very fast. This bombing run a little bit more damage, but you can see it's more than 3/4 health still here, and you want to have it here while the ship is dead, because then you are immediately ready to do the jump, and you do the jump over here. I mean that brutal charge, and then you just go here and don't bother fighting these units, just get here. These all units will kill themselves on the Kron, and you might kinda want to avoid these bombing grenades. Even if you don't, I think it will still be enough. And you can see that even second ship killed itself on the Kron, and the Kron has plenty of time to spare, and plenty of health to spare. And that's it. That's how you do both bonuses, and still, like, many of these units also die before the Kron times out. You can use Mecha Infestors to charge all Statman's units, of course, and each other. You can also use them with the charging protocol. You can also use them to charge allied units that have energy, and that also applies to the hero commanders like Zagara and Kerrigan. You can even use them on Gary. Gary has no energy, but also it's the 25% of the cooldown reduction, so you can have more Igorps. But with Phoenix, a situation is a little bit different due to how Phoenix recharges energy. Phoenix doesn't recharge any energy online when the suit is active, but only offline, and that's why it works only partially for Phoenix. So you can see now Phoenix is completely drained, and see now 50 energy. So the mechanics of this, if you didn't know it, charges 50 energy or energy immediately, and then 200 more over 20 seconds, so 10 energy per second. But you can see it's not happening. Initially it works. Now second investor it's 100, but yeah, it just works only initially. Over time it doesn't work, so if you want to charge Phoenix you have to do it bit by bit. You can block both bonuses on minor evacuation. Now Blightbringer, you block him from entering the map, and actually from exiting this cave of his. So you teleport the Hercules here. It's best to do it with siege tanks. You might do it with something else maybe, but it's kinda hard to play structure here because you cannot build all the way through here, so Blightbringer squeezes through, but with siege tanks you can do it. So you drop the tanks here. It's best to do it with payload director because it instant unload. And now Blightbringer is getting out, but you can see it cannot get out. It still manages to parasitic bomb the Hercules, but you can see now it's kind of stuck over here and it does no damage. It didn't release that slime, that acido slime that deals damage to ground units. Neither is he releasing spawning any eggs. So tanks are just hitting it, and the laser too, and yeah, now it will die. Now with the eradicators, the job is a little bit easier, but you still have to be fast. So it's opposite of the Blightbringer. Blightbringer you block from entering the map, but eradicators you block them from exiting or entering these facilities. So you have to wait until timer is out. You need to have vision over here, and when the timer is done you just block them. You can do it with structures that can be spawned immediately, like Omega Network or Arcturus's bunker drop or Terran flying building drop over here, but with units you cannot do it because they just get pushed aside, but siege tanks cannot be pushed. So I am doing it with this is the same game actually, so I am payload director, and I am you see now the time, and you can see now it's turned red, like you failed to do bonus, but now they'll try to exit, but I block them. Now keep in mind that now they will be inactive. You see they are inactive, they just try to leave, so they will just wander around, or they will just stop. But when one of them is killed, the other one will reactivate, so it's better to get them both on low health, so when the one is reactivated, it's killed fast soon afterwards. And siege tanks are kinda doing it on their own pretty much. So you can see they are kinda receiving almost the same amount of damage. And okay, now one of them is dead and the other one didn't even manage to reactivate, and you hear the sound now as bonus is down, and now this will actually show that bonus is done. So that's how you do it with eradicators. So guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you did, and stay tuned for more content.